Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to create that effect where there's a placeholder graphics for larger graphics files, and then it loads in or fades in the high res version of the image when when it loads. So it's got a low res version that's in line with the HTML, so it loads instantly, and that prevents that little dance that your web page does as it's assembling itself and the bits come in. With the placeholder image, it's immediately there, and it gives you a vague idea of what the image is going to be, and then the full image comes into being. So for example here, I'm going to do an empty cache and hard reload so you can actually see what's going on. But it immediately loads with a low-res version, and then as the high-res version becomes available over the internet, it fades that in. And it even falls back if there's no JavaScript enabled. This is what it falls back to. It looks like this, which isn't that bad either. So this is a very versatile little script. And here's what it looks like. We're just going to open that up. And what it does is it sets the body's background image to basically a data URL where the SVG is in line with the HTML. So if I turn on soft wrapping of the text, you can see this is actually a pretty long line, but it's not several megabytes worth of line, right? It's several K of line, which is a lot smaller. In any case, what we're going to do here, I'm going to switch this back to don't do that. All right. So it sets that in line, so that loads immediately as the body loads, and then we've got a background image on top of it that is set to the full high-res version of the image, and then as that loads, we either do a little bit of JavaScript here to fade it in, or if there is no JavaScript, it will just come in as it comes in, because it's anyway. So here, let me run through this real quick, how this works. So let's take an image from the internet here, and you're going to want to download this to your computer, to your desktop, let's say, right? And we're going to open this up. Okay, and we're going to just resize our image, scale image, here we go. We're going to leave that locked, and we're going to just do a 64 pixel wide version of it, right? So it's going to convert it to 64 by 43. Let's go ahead and scale it. Right, you can see that's very small. Alright, so now we're going to export it, and we're just going to export it as low res. Alright. Okay, and now what we need to do is we need to convert this low res JPEG to an SVG that we can then put in line, and we want to open it with Inkscape. File, import, desktop, low res, open. All right, import that. We're going to set the document properties, resize page to the drawing or selection. Alright, so now we've resized it to that, and we're going to do a save as, and remember to save it as a plain SVG. Okay, so now we have this brand new SVG that we created. We're going to open that up and we're going to copy the actual SVG, everything after that XML tag at the top, right? And we're going to paste it into this convert.html file that basically has this script that will convert an SVG into a data URL. So I'm going to replace the SVG that's in there with our newly created SVG, and I'm going to save it. And let's open that up in a browser. Okay, so now we've got this brand new data URL. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to open up my ClickMe here. Okay, and I'm going to replace the data URL that's in there with the new one that we just created, right? And now I'm going to change the background image URL to our high-res version of the JPEG, right? So paste that in there, and we're going to replace that also in the JavaScript. And again, the JavaScript isn't strictly necessary, but it makes the fade in a little bit smoother. So let's go ahead and open that up and see what it looks like. And there you go. And that is how you create the placeholder fade-in effect. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch us again next time. Cheers.